If I asked you right now, how much money do you need to stop feeling broke? What would you say? Most people give me a salary number, and that's exactly the wrong answer. Not because income doesn't matter, it does, but because the research on this is more specific than that. And what it points to is a formula, not a figure. I'm going to give you the formula today. Before we dive in, everything here is general financial education, not advice tailored to your specific situation. I don't recommend specific investments, funds, or securities, and nothing in this video is a suggestion to sell or buy anything. If you want guidance built around your own numbers, your debt, your taxes, your plan, work with a qualified professional who knows your full picture. On those topics, that can be me. Otherwise, take what's useful here, check it against your own circumstances, and make the call that's right for you. I'm Tanya, a CPA and MBA with years of real client work behind me. I'm glad you're here. By the end of this video, you'll know what the research says, the real finding. You'll know why some people genuinely do need more income to stop feeling broke and some don't. And you have a two-part formula you can run on your own numbers today. If you've ever found yourself Googling, how much money do I need to feel okay? Tap the like button. You're about to get the answer. You have a steady income. Let's say it's the most you've ever made. And you still flinch a little when you open your banking app. You still have that low-grade dread when an unexpected bill shows up. You look around and it feels like everyone else has it figured out and you're just waiting to feel okay. You're not alone in that. According to FP Canada's 2026 Financial Stress Index, and this is the most current national data we have on this, 43% of Canadians say money is their top source of stress. Not health, not relationships, not work, money. And that number includes people earning well over $100,000 a year. So it's not a low income problem. And part of why it's not is rooted in how our brains are wired. Behavioral economics research shows that the psychological pain of losing something feels about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining it. Think about payday. The money comes in, and for a second, it feels good. The rent comes out, then the car payments, then the credit card. Your brain doesn't process those payments as I'm responsibly taking care of my life. It registers each one as a loss. You could have thousands left over and you'd still feel like you're bleeding out. That's not a character flaw, that's wiring. So if you feel broke, even when the numbers say you shouldn't, it might be proof that you don't have the right picture yet and that your brain has been counting the wrong things. Before we get to the formula, there are two completely different problems that feel identical from the inside. Problem A is a math problem. Your essential expenses, rent, groceries, transportation, utilities, minimum debt payments genuinely cost more than your monthly after-tax income. The numbers don't add up. If that's where you are, this isn't a clarity problem. It's a cash problem. And more income is part of the answer. Canada's median after-tax household income in 2024 was $75,500. That's the most recent Statistics Canada figure released just this year. But in a city like Toronto or Vancouver, essentials alone chew through that and then some. Some people are running a real deficit, and no formula fixes a deficit. Problem B is a measurement problem. Your income does cover your essentials. There's money left, but the broke feeling is still there because you don't have a clear picture, you don't have a savings floor, and you don't have a number you trust. If that's you, stay here. The formula I'm about to walk you through is built for exactly this situation. You've probably heard about the $75,000 study. Back in 2010, Princeton researchers Kahneman and Dayton published a landmark paper. They looked at the relationship between income and day-to-day happiness, and they found that as income went up, happiness went up too, but only up to a point. Above $75,000 US, they said the happiness gains basically flatlined. The emotional well-being stopped improving. Then, in 2021, a Penn researcher named Killingsworth looked at the same question, but he used a different method. A real-time app that pinged people throughout the day and asked how they actually felt right then. And he found something completely different. No plateau. Happiness kept rising with income, well past $75,000. No ceiling. Two top researchers, completely different answers. So they sat down together with a third member as a referee and reanalyzed everything. The paper came out in 2023. Here's what they found. For most people, happiness does keep rising with income. There is no hard ceiling. More money does help. But for a smaller group, roughly the unhappiest 15 to 20%, happiness did plateau at around 100,000 US dollars. In today's Canadian dollars, that's somewhere in the range of $135,000 to $140,000. And here's the part that matters for this video. The researchers concluded that for that group above the threshold, the miseries that remain are not the kind more money can fix. Something else is going on. So, does income help? Yes. Is there a point where more income stops fixing the feeling? Also, yes, but only for some people, which means that for the majority of people feeling broke, income is not the whole answer. There's something else in the formula. Here's what that looks like in real life. Let's say Tanya earns $55,000 a year. She tells herself she'll feel okay at $70,000. She gets to $70,000. Rent went up. The car needed work. The TFSA still looks thin. She moves the target to $85,000. Researchers call this the hedonic treadmill. As circumstances improve, expectations tend to rise to match them. It's baked into how we are built. The income goes up, the feeling doesn't move because income was never the only dial. And this is the thing the happiness research actually confirms. Even for the majority whose well-being does keep rising with income. That's about happiness in general. Financial security is a different measurement. The Financial Consumer Agency of Canada defines financial well-being as feeling secure and in control of your finances. Not a specific dollar amount, not a salary, a feeling of control. And control doesn't come from income alone. It comes from having a floor. Here's the formula. It's my synthesis of what the research consistently points to when you put it together. Two numbers, that's it. Part one, your income floor. There's a well-established personal finance framework called the 50-30-20 rule. It says that essential expenses, the non-negotiables, should take up no more than 50% of your after-tax income. When essentials are eating more than half of your income, there is no margin left. And no margin is where the broke feeling lives. So the income floor isn't a fixed number, it's a ratio. Your monthly after-tax income needs to be at least double your essential monthly expenses. Essentials are rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation, minimum debt payments. Not subscriptions, not dining out. Sorry. Now let's put numbers on it. If your essential expenses are $3,000 a month, your income floor is $6,000 a month after tax, $72,000 a year after tax. Canada's 2024 median household income was $75,500 after tax. You can see why so many people are right at the edge of this. A household at the median is just barely clearing that line, if that. Part two, your savings floor. Income clearing part one is necessary, but it doesn't turn the feeling off on its own because the broke feeling isn't just about the amount, it's about uncertainty. Not knowing if what you have is enough. And that requires a floor under you, not just a steady flow in. The savings floor is your emergency fund. 3 months of essential expenses, liquid, accessible, not invested in the market. This is what stops a job loss from feeling like a free fall. If your essentials are $3,000 a month, your target is $9,000. Start with $2,000. Research consistently shows that's the point where day-to-day money anxiety starts to drop. A $900 car repair stops being a catastrophe and becomes an inconvenience. It's your first milestone inside the emergency fund, not a separate account. Hit $2,000 first, then keep going until you reach your full target. That's your number, not a salary, a savings floor. Okay, let's go back to Tanya and run the numbers. Her essential expenses, $3,200 a month. Her income floor, $6,400 after tax. She earns $5,800. She's below the line by $600 a month, which means she's sitting somewhere between problem A and problem B. The gap is real. But here's what the formula gave Tanya that the broke feeling never did: a specific number. Not I need to earn more. A $600 gap. That's something you can actually work on. Then she runs part two. Savings floor target $9,600 emergency fund. She has $400. She set up an automatic transfer of $300 a month into a separate TFSA account. She didn't get a new salary. She got a real clear picture. Formula didn't solve everything, but it turned a fog into a list. And a list is something you can actually walk through. The goalpost didn't disappear, but she stopped running towards a moving target and started building something solid. That turning fog into a list, that's the whole channel. If that's useful to you, subscribe. I'll keep bringing you this kind of thinking. Here's the thing about feeling broke. It's almost always a signal that something is unclear, not that something is hopeless. The researchers who spent 15 years disagreeing about income and happiness landed on this together. For most people, the feeling does improve with income, but only when a floor is there. Income without a floor is a house without a foundation. You can keep adding to it and it still doesn't feel stable. After years of sitting across from people and running their actual numbers, here's what I've seen. The clients who feel financially calm are rarely the highest earners in the room. They're the ones who know their formula. They ran the numbers, they know what the floor looks like. And that knowledge does something a pay raise alone can't do. Every Sunday, I send one financial idea, about 500 words, 1 point, no noise. It's free, it's calm, and it's the kind of thinking that helps you get a real picture. You can find it at cpamoneymentor.com/moneyletter or click the link in the description. Now, here's how to run this on your own numbers. 4 steps. Step 1, find your essential monthly expenses. Add up only the non-negotiables: rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation, minimum debt payments, not the subscriptions, not dining out. Write that number down. Step 2, check the income ratio. Multiply your essentials by 2. Is your monthly after-tax income above that number? If yes, you have margin and the income floor is clear. If no, we now know where the gap is and you can work on closing it. Either way, you know. That's already different. Step 3, run your net worth. Assets minus debts, one number. List what you own: savings, investments, home equity, if that applies, and subtract what you owe: mortgage, car loans, student debt, credit cards. Write it down. It doesn't matter if it's lower than you expected. What matters is that it's real. You cannot feel okay about a picture you've never looked at. And your brain cannot stop feeling broke about a situation it's never seen clearly. Step 4, calculate your savings floor and start building. Multiply your essentials by 3. That's your emergency fund target. Start with $2,000 as your first milestone. That's where the research says the daily anxiety starts to ease. Automate even $100 a month into a separate TFSA account and keep going until you hit your full target. A high interest savings account inside your TFSA works well here, and it stays accessible and it grows tax free. So, is there a real number? Yes, But it's not a salary you chase, it's a formula you calculate. Monthly essentials times 2, that's your income floor. Monthly essentials times 3, that's your savings floor. And one net worth figure, that's your starting line. Run those 3 numbers, build toward the floor. The goalpost stops moving when you put stakes in the ground. If this landed, the next video to watch is this one: the real reason some Canadians build wealth and how to do it yourself. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.